Okay, Jeff, here's your kind of your before and after, if you like. So what we said was bit of movement with your head in the takeaway, right? Bit of movement with your head outside the box in the takeaway. And what we put that down to was your left shoulder just turning a little too high in your takeaway. So as long as you can work on getting that shoulder just a little bit lower than that, just a smidgen, just a little bit lower, right? That will help keep your head in the box. Then what you do is, after that point, it's really just starting to lift your arms up off your torso, right? The pressure tends to be too much under your feet. The pressure tends to be too much under your back foot. You know, and one of the things we need to do moving forward with these lessons is give you some drills for the dynamics of the lower body, right? So one of the best drills is the step drill, and I think we've done that before, where you're just stepping into it with your left foot before that club ever starts down. So you're applying pressure under this foot, the lead foot, before this club ever starts moving down, right? And then you're starting the correct sort of sequence of movements, if you like, right? So, but with regards to what you're doing in your old swing, lifting your arms up off your body, right? And you can actually see that right arm and that right elbow kind of, you know, you can see that right elbow move out this way as you start down now. There you go. You see that? So you're lifting your arms up off your torso, which gets your hands a little too high over your shoulder. And then as you start down, because you haven't got the correct, you're a little out of position with your hands being so high, and not the correct sequence from the ground up, starting with the left foot, right? Inevitably leads to the hands and the shaft coming down too steep and over the top, kind of through your shoulder, right? And then what you do, looking at it from this angle, is you extend that right arm too soon, right? Which then, if you extend the right arm, also extends the left wrist. So then you start throwing the club head away, start dumping all your lag too soon, right? So one of the things we did, just looking at it from the down the line view, was we kept the arms on the torso. First of all, moving the left shoulder down a bit more, right? So I think you can do a little bit more than that, right? Get that left shoulder down a little bit more. But the big thing is keeping the arms pinching, right? No lifting up. A little bit of pinching under the right armpit, a little bit under the left armpit, and then you end up at the top with your hands behind your right shoulder, right? So we're in a better position to start the downswing. Now, what we want to try and do now to get this right elbow tucking in more, right, to get our hands more forward, is start by bringing the right elbow more underneath the left elbow to start the downswing. So then the start of your downswing looks like that, as opposed to that. So you look at your right elbow, you look at your left elbow, your right elbow is underneath your left one, right? Whereas here your elbows are kind of in the same position. So that's much better as you start down with regards to the plane, and then coming into there, much better. Yeah, that's good. Looking at it from face on, once you start getting this right elbow underneath the left one, oh yeah, look at that. So I can see a little bit of your right elbow there underneath your left elbow. That's so much better, because that then is going to help produce that. So now we've got shoulder, we've got elbow, and we've got wrist, right? And that's what all the pros look like at P6, right? Across the board. Whereas before, you look like that, right? So, you know, watching you hit balls, just watching them and listening to them, a lot of heavy shots, that club head is hitting the ground before the ball, right? So therefore the handle isn't far enough forward at impact. We want to try and get your handle underneath your left shoulder at impact to then have forward shaft lean, right? You've got, you know, a little bit of, well, certainly there, pretty much straight up, right? But you can see you're 4, 5, 6 inches behind where we want your hands at impact. So this right elbow digging in, that sort of feeling is going to help produce your hands being more forward at impact, definitely. Does all that make sense?